So earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Some of what's going on here, you've got the Three of Cups. I love the Three of Cups. This is a friendship card. Okay. This is a platonic peer support network kind of card. And we can find these kinds of platonic supportive networks, even within our family. Okay. So some people do have like tight ass bomb family units that are really supportive, and that's awesome. So maybe that's the case. But if you don't have this, okay, maybe you have a friendship network or a church community or some other such thing of people who respect you and you respect them and you just enjoy each other's time. Okay, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, earth signs. Now, some of us, this is a call to lean to the friendships in your life, the peer supportive networks in your life. This is not a competitive card. Okay, sometimes we don't have the healthiest support. And so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other support that you may have in your life and the way that you come across as a supportive person too. It's not just about others supporting you, earth sign. It's about, you walking in the light, and maybe others are coming to you for some kind of kinship is what I feel. It could be assistance, etc. But this is camaraderie. This is like, hey, I like your vibes. Can we be friends? That kind of thing. Maybe I'm just jumping on your coattails because I see you living in a more successful way than myself, and I'm really wanting to kind of have some of that in my life. This is what I feel for the earth signs this week. So pay attention and take it where it resonates. All right. What's important is this is not a romantic card. This is about who supports you. Do you see they're all in that hula hoop together? Like they've got their own, but they're also all in this one together. And they're not like, get out of here. There's not enough space. You're too much. They're not like rude. This is about, who could you really stand in a close proximity with, earth sign? And how do you feel about that? Like, would it become too much? I just want to say, recognizing this can really put things into perspective, because so often we tolerate things when we can be more vague and elusive about pinning it down, and it's not so bad. But imagine that you were stuck in a room with that individual for, 8 hours, 12 hours, the whole day. Who knows? Like, would you handle things differently? Would you end that connection? Like, I'm speaking to somebody here, earth sign. Okay. So the archetypes that are floating around this week for you, and this may be on the peer front, at work or at home. The first one that came in is child wounded. Okay. And there are light and dark attributes, and I will read them both to you. Now, these could be apparent in yourself or in others this week. Okay. So just hear me out. The light attributes of the child wounded: awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. But the shadow attributes of the child wounded blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Okay, so some earth signs may be shifting the blame of their circumstances to, well, it's because everything that happened when I was younger, or this kind of thing. And spirit calls me to say, like, how long are you going to hide behind what happened to you however long ago before you decide you want a better life for yourself? Because that shit really ain't even holding you back. But when you say it like that and you advocate it like that, then yeah, you're letting it. I can find the excuse, and that excuse is worn out, is what spirit is telling me for some earth signs. I'm sorry, but you have the choice today not to let that mess you up any longer, not to let it hold you back any longer, not to let it keep you down, because it can, right? It can, potentially it has. So the light attributes are absolutely valid. What I want to say to the earth signs is every darn thing that you've been through so far that you didn't want to go through, okay, it left its mark on you, on your life. And there are still people dealing with those kinds of circumstances out in this world. Okay. And you don't have to be a social worker to be able to help others move through whatever they're going through that you have already somehow made it through. I'm speaking to you here. So this child wounded indicates that, like, hey, I've dealt with some of my stuff and I'm feeling quite empowered with my life. And, who knows? I'm really feeling a call for some earth signs here that, like, a conversation may be struck up at random, and you're feeling drawn to open your mouth and share this experience somehow. Like, it doesn't have to be deep dark, but just follow me here, let it land wherever it lands in your life and in this week, because I feel like some earth signs have flinched away from this kind of it's an advocacy is what it is. And spirit is saying that when you feel drawn to interject some kind of personal experience that relates to what you are witnessing or being called into there, in conversation, it's to shed your experience, not from a place of pride or shame or whatever distorted version. It's to shed light that it can be overcome. It can be pushed past. Like, wow, I didn't know you struggled that way. You seem so normal, and you've been through that. I can probably get through that too, right? Sometimes we can just give people that upliftment if they know that what they're going through, they're not alone. And it's obviously not hopeless, because look at you on the other side of that. How many years later, whatever, earth sign. I feel that here as well. And I also feel how some earth signs want to hide behind their inner child wounds. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that, but it's not beneficial for you to do that, because you're no longer a child. And the only person to take care of your inner child is the adult you. Your partner or parents or friends or community or church cannot give you the love and the healing and the soothing needed to really heal that inner child wound. Okay, it comes from you and it goes to you, and it's all within you. All right, and only you know what these things may be. However, the outer environment can most definitely trigger that. I feel earth signs, but it's because of them. It's because they make me feel this, that, the other thing. Well, technically, can you make someone feel or do anything? I mean, really, really? If you feel a certain way, you're in agreement to be within that connection somehow. And that is your power and where you stand. And that is where your responsibility is at. So if you don't like the way that someone makes you feel, then disconnect, and they cannot make you do anything at all. Less feel that way. I'm sorry. The next card here is Healer. I don't want to get your ass, but sometimes spirit just makes me say things. I love you. I'm nice. I swear. Healer is the other archetype here. Earth signs. The light attribute is passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Love that. The shadow attributes of the healer. Taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. Failing to care for oneself, earth signs. Is that what we're dealing with this week? I hope not. I hope you are taking a pause and chilling with your friends or your family or your loved ones or just yourself, and making sure that you are, not forgetting about you by the wayside of everything else. I know that life can be crazy, all right? But I do want to stress to the earth signs, I understand how life is happening, okay? And some things may really be going on from left field or otherwise, okay? But you cannot withstand the storm if you're not taking care of yourself. And when you're able to take good enough care of yourself, then you feel a little stronger and braver to withstand whatever else life is throwing at you at this time or in the future. Okay, so neglecting yourself never makes circumstances better. Never, ever. And it sets up a pattern of the universe neglecting you. I'm sorry, I don't want to say this. The law of attraction is real, and we're manifesting in every moment. And when we create patterns in our lives of, I don't need anything. In fact, I don't even need to stop and eat today. I don't need to rest well. I don't need to honor my own needs and this, that, the other way. Then the universe says, all right, they're cool. They don't need food. They don't need adequate rest. They don't need this, that, or the other thing. And we don't want to set that as a tone in our lives, do we, people? We do not. So Spirit is calling us right now to remember the basics and give yourself at least that and then some this week, because you can only give of yourself and the quality that you desire to give if you're healthy. Okay. Oh man, earth signs. It goes both ways. Hold on. I just bit my tongue because I don't want to say this, but I am a servant of spirit. And if I need to say it, I'll say it for whomever needs to hear it. Okay. Earth sign, when you embody your highest frequencies and your highest potential, and you're on the upswing and you're in that good mood, things are going your way, you're in the flow, you're spreading positivity, you're blessing people left and right, you're putting smiles on people's faces, you're getting everything done, you're really feeling it, right? And then there's those other times, earth sign when it's like this switch is just flipped. And I want to say to you, as much as an impact as you have on all of the people that you come into contact with, random and regular, in person and online, they feel your vibrational frequency. And when it's banging, they feel it to the magnitude, the highest vibe, and they love it. But when you're in a mood or sign, they can also feel that to the same degree, but it's not a positive vibration. Okay. So spirit is saying to really check yourself, because you want to grow and progress in your life and on your path. But when you come with some crazy sideways stuff, sometimes, especially when it doesn't have anything to do with those that you're, oh, I'm just in a mood today. Maybe you didn't even explain it. Explain it, please. If you're having a mood that is outside of the people that you are happening to give that to, explain yourself this week, earth signs, because I do feel how you could potentially accidentally tap into some wounded inner child stuff and not quite give the best version of yourself to your friends and your loved ones, to people who are closest to you. And then that sits on your conscience and you're like, oh my God, I'm such a horrible person. I don't deserve any blessings in my life at all because I was rude to the mail lady. Right? Hello. Then you're negating all that energy. Okay. And you do your best. And when you don't do your best, just give yourself a little bit of grace and say, hey, next time, I don't want to feel like this. So I'm going to do better. Now, the card fell. What can help here for the earth sign? Self-love. You realize that love of self is necessary to love another. Whoa. That's pretty self-explanatory here. I've been saying, like, you got to feel your best. Okay. But this says that the love of self is necessary in order to love someone else. Okay. And I know that that's a pretty controversial statement. Okay. So I want you guys to kind of put that in your heart, man, because if we can't love ourselves enough to do better for ourselves, then how in the heck can we expect the rest of the world to try to give us what we desire, what we truly do deserve? That's what I want to say. We truly do deserve it, guys. We each have a unique path and destiny and unique feelings and emotions. And we have an inner compass that tells us when to lean in some direction because it's good and it feels good and we like that. When to stay away from stuff because, man, that hurts me. Okay. And sometimes we get real confused with that inner compass. All right. And we love things that hurt us. We get involved with people or coping mechanisms or activities, if you will, that may be not so great for us in the present or in the long run. So spirit is saying right now to love yourself in the way that you want a lover to love you, to love yourself the way you want your parent, your children, the whole world, man. Love yourself in the way that you want to receive love, because so often, earth signs, I'm feeling it now, how we can love others with great intensity. This healer, this wounded child, the friendships. I have this wounded child and I want to give love to the world. And I can imagine that others have wounded children within them as well. So I give my love and I give my love to all these people that I care about. And I show up and I do these things and I pay these bills and I buy this stuff. And I feel this earth sign. So you're giving overtime to try to receive this love from your outer environment, and yet it's not coming. And now you are the ones who are overgiving and doing double overtime to try to give the shirt off your back to receive a little bit of something, some kind of breadcrumbs, some kind of, return for whatever it is that you are putting into the mix. Okay. And spirit is saying putting more out is not going to bring more in. Okay. Spirit is saying you've got to forget all of that and stop putting so much effort into wanting the love, the approval, the affection, the financial return. Okay, wherever these areas are, and you need to give back to yourself for just a moment. Longer than a moment, earth sign, okay, regularly and often. You've got to factor you into your day and you into your life and you into your schedule. This is crazy. Hello. I understand that life can knock us off our feet from time to time, but it's up to you to dust yourself off. To stand up and decide, you know what, this is my life. Whoa. Hello, earth sign. Did you know that you're the only person who's living in your body? Unless you're not. It can happen. However, you're the person who is living in your body, who is driving the car of you through this life. Okay. So it's up to you to advocate for yourself, Earth sign. It's up for you to decide what's right for you and what's not, because somebody else can't tell you that. They ain't driving your car. They ain't living in your body. Okay. It's up to you to feel this out and follow it through. You've got to give back to yourself. Listen, Spirit wants me to say to do things, take a break, take a pause, pencil it in, some you time, something that boosts your vibration. I'm speaking to a couple of earth signs here whose vibration is dangerously low. Okay. But you've been on the grind and doing all the things that you need to do, but you may not see any kind of return, and that's disheartening, right? And so Spirit is wanting me to say to do things that, even if it's silly, even if it seems crazy or whatever, but you like it, like dance to your favorite songs in the kitchen, play your video game if that's what you relax with, whatever these things are that boost you up here and there, because you need to get that vibration a little more pepped up here. I don't like to say things like this, but I do feel earth sign, like if you don't boost your vibration, you're going to wear yourself right down in some kind of a cold or flu kind of thing. And I don't want to say that. So take your vitamins, rest, stay hydrated, all the things, and do things that fill you with joy. When you do things that you enjoy, okay? I do things I enjoy, not just mildly, but greatly, okay? That raises your vibration. That makes you feel better, more positive, more peppy, more bubbly, more energy, right? Throughout the day, okay? To give yourself this so that you can step back into all the other stuff a little more reinvigorated, okay? Because it can just bring you down, and you got to bring yourself back up so that you can manage this more effectively. It won't wear on you as much. Taurus, you got the Knight of Coins here. Knight of Coins is about something physical and tangible, progress and movement. And as you can see, this individual has it right there in the palm of his hand. Okay, so this is something worth holding on to, something that is going to grow and build momentum over time. Okay, and with this, I do feel with this whole reading here for Taurus, like, this Knight of Coins is a call to take actionable steps to kind of change things in your life to be more to your liking. Heal those inner child wounds, set healthy boundaries in the areas where you need it so that your folks know how to co-create with you in a healthy way. Okay. This kind of looks like I want to run away. I'll just say that right now. I kind of feel from this Knight of Coins card, because the Knight of Coins can take off, right? I'm out of here. Fuck you guys. Okay. So I kind of feel this here. However, the Knight can't live with himself if he does that, because he's like burned a bridge. So I want to say to you, Taurus, that if you feel like burning some bridges, maybe you should figure out ways to deconstruct them instead. And just by kind of hashing this around in your mind, how can I evaluate, reconstruct, whatever, negotiate this situation to be more to my liking. Okay. But it's going to take effort. And I want to say it's progress, man. It's a slow going progress. You're going to have to keep at it and keep reinforcing those healthy boundaries and stay on top of that. But if what you desire is true lasting change, then this is the discipline and consistency to maintain your healthy boundaries and assert your authority in your life is necessary. Okay. I want to say that to you, Taurus. That's what I have for you. Stick to your process. It's moving you in the right direction. So let's talk to Virgo now. Virgo, you've got the 10 of Cups here. So 10 of Cups indicates the togetherness and support that you may have on a family type level, personal level, your home life, the emotional support and togetherness that you have. Like the 9 of Cups is a single person who's okay and happy and content with their life. However, the 10 of Cups means I have the whole package. I have the partner. I'm emotionally fulfilled. But I do say to you, not all Virgos have this, okay? But that's the focus of this card. We're talking about the home life, the partnership, the emotional satisfaction and fulfillment that you may be experiencing or lack thereof. Okay, so Virgo, I see this giant peace sign here and how important it is for you just to have peace in the home. And holy smokes, Virgo, I see the peace sign is only here. So I feel like half the time there's peace and the other half I'm kind of wishing there was peace. Okay, so I want to say to you that it's up to you to recognize oh boy, I don't want to say this. It's up to you, Virgo, to recognize when you may be having some unhealthy patterns that are contributing to the dysfunction that you are experiencing, okay? No one is an innocent bystander of their lives. However, maybe the unhealthy pattern is I'm not speaking up when I know there's a problem or an issue, okay? So take that where it resonates, Virgo, okay? But Spirit is saying right now that if you see an area that is displeasing to you, or something occurs that is in your face awareness and you want to say something, don't choke it back down. It's your opportunity to smooth things over in a better way. And to be honest, they're telling me right now that it is not self-love to keep all your stuff inside. It's not self-love to dismiss your needs or not advocate for yourself for the sake of others, or what this is, Virgo. So recognizing when you have non-love for yourself, just be real right now. I'm not loving myself if I haven't ate yet and I'm hungry. Okay, I'm not loving myself if I'm subjecting myself to whatever this is and I know I don't like it. Okay, I'm not loving myself when I'm making unhealthy decisions to try to slap a band-aid on a bullet wound in my life. Okay, Virgo, so let's just talk about this. When I say band-aid, bullet wound, I mean like sometimes we can get upset and maybe go on any spending spree, an emotional spending spree, and or buy all kinds of things. That's the band-aid on the bullet wound. And then we go, oh crap, this really didn't fix my problem. In fact, now I'm broke and I have all this stuff that I really didn't need, and I felt good for like a blip of a moment, and now I feel worse afterwards. So that's what I'm talking about, Virgo, here. This all boils down to your heart of hearts and how supported that you feel in an emotional way. So recognize when there is a lack of that and address those things on the spot in the moment. Recognize when there is an abundance of this, and thank you, God, for that in that moment, every moment. All right, Virgo, that's what's up. Capricorn, you got major arcana card number 8, the strength. Capricorn. I kind of feel like you are the strongest person in your life, especially with the strength card here. The 3 of Cups, child wounded, healer, self-love. So Capricorn, I want to say to you that, even strong people have weak moments or vulnerable moments, and some things that we may perceive as weakness or vulnerability may in fact be a misperception. Okay, so check it out and recognize when you are putting too much on yourself, not giving yourself enough credit, maybe shying away from things that you might perceive to be weak in nature, okay, or project vulnerability in some way. I feel how, Capricorn, you may feel the need to do this, and Spirit is just saying that those are the areas that need a little more awareness. Okay, so just recognize, be aware, kind of wrap your head and heart around why it is that you feel that way, because truly you are not a victim, is what they want me to say. They're saying that vulnerability for Capricorn, asking for help, or this kind of thing can potentially spur something in you from whenever this was in your life that makes you feel like a victim or powerless in some way. Okay, so Spirit is wanting you to remind yourself of all the amazing feats that you have embarked upon and made it through in your life. All the successes and the joys and the times when you have overcome, when you doubted even yourself, and yet you stand here to show living proof of how strong that you actually are. So I also want to say, look at this. See, I thought this was number 8, the strength, and usually it is, but it's number 11 in this deck. So that means something. So Capricorn, you might be seeing those angel numbers, 11, 11, this, that. I do feel for some, this is that spiritual awakening, standing on very firm footing. This whole 3 of Cups with the friendships, like I feel like some earth signs are depending on friendships, or relying on those loving, supportive networks, or even taking a close look at them. Okay, for Capricorn, I kind of feel like your friends may be coming to you this week because you're untouchable Capricorn with like no problems, or so you let everyone think. However, I do kind of feel like some Caps have their friends who are unloading to them, and you might just have the wisest guidance to impart to them. And why? Probably because you've been through something kind of like that, or whatever this is. Okay, Spirit can speak through us if we are willing, with an open heart. If we want to help somebody, oh my gosh, Spirit, my friend is going through it and I don't have the right words to say, will you help us? And sometimes then you open your mouth and you just say, well, it's going to be okay, girl, and blah 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 blah, and you just let it flow, and all of a sudden you say all the right things to help you or your folks through this. Okay, it stinks to be the strong one, but I want to say you're not always going to have to be the strong one, Capricorn, and you've earned that status, really. So recognize that. So that is what I have for the earth signs. I hope that makes sense.